Those who appear for UPSC are brutally categorized into two groups. Group A, those who eventually clear it, and Group B, those who don't. Year on year, ConvertIAS has helped hundreds of aspirants from shifting from Group B to Group A. But we did observe a very keen pattern in Group B students as well. We observed that the Group B students themselves are of two categories. There is a Group 1. These are the students who consistently write mains year on year and they don't face any difficulty in the first level of examination, that is prelims. And there is Group 2, which holds a very significant and a huge amount of students. Group 2 students are those who are facing clearing the prelims, that is the first level of exam. They might be in their first attempt, second attempt, third, whatever it is, but they are facing difficulty in their prelims preparation itself. So this video is all about shifting you from Group 2 to Group 1. You may ask how. So the answer is very simple. Most of you might have started doing it as well. You just replicate what Group 1 students are doing so that eventually you shift to Group 1, right? And you might have your seniors, friends, etc., who you might recognize as Group 1 people, and you might have started replicating their methods as well. And these methods are not hidden. These are very three simple steps, right? The first one being you sort out your sources, you replicate the sources which they are following. So and so person is, if he is following a particular book for polity, you start following that, right? You replicate their sources for current affairs, etc., you start replicating their knowledge sources. Second, the test which they are following, a particular institute if they are following, you start giving their test, downloaded it from Telegram, etc., and maybe their mocks as well, right? And third, that is revision. You do these two steps repeatedly, suggested by your Group 1 friends, let's say 2 or 3 times before the prelims. Yet, even if the Group 1 people, they are doing the same thing, you might not see yourself getting into that group. Why is that so? That is because you are not following the whole picture. You are just following the 20% of ways which they are following. And there is a huge 80% which is below water, which you are failing to replicate, right? So, the first and foremost being the knowledge which they hold. There are ways to gain knowledge as well, right? For UPSC, you need to gain your knowledge fast. You cannot be spending 2 to 3 months, 4 months, 5 months holding a particular book for a subject. This is not something which you are spending like your valuable 3 to 4 years in gaining knowledge itself. The gaining knowledge for UPSC, it has to be fast. Second thing, it has to be reliable. If you are reading a book, you shouldn't feel like I should verify it, the information which is written from somewhere else. Many of the books, what they are unupdated. So you are reading very unupdated things. So you will have that feeling that I need to revise myself, seeing internet or reading a extra book. So eventually you spend 4 to 5 months holding a particular subject. Third thing, you should be able to revise. And these two are connected. You should be able to revise fast. Cumulative revisions should take lesser and lesser times as you hold the book, right? So this is how you gain your knowledge for UPSC prelims. Second, the concepts. It shouldn't be like you have read the book, you have completed your lectures, but your concepts are not clear. I mean to say, if someone asks you something, you shouldn't be fumbling while explaining that concept. You should be crystal clear while you read a concept. Second, it should be application based. It's not like you are reading the information for showing off or debating on the streets or something. You are reading or gaining knowledge for clearing this examination. And that's where this application based comes in. You should be following what the PYQ pattern is. And third, these two if you follow properly, then you will be confident as well in your concepts. And third thing, thinking. the knowledge which you have gained, the concept which you have gained you should be able to put it in analytical thinking. That's what UPSC Prelims demands, right? And this should be quick as well. It shouldn't be like I need 5 minutes to recall what is happening, what I had read, and I need to 5 minutes more for applying that for a question. You don't have that time, and for that the thinking should be quick. And the fourth and most important part is guidance. You should be constantly guided by someone from group 1 so that you get shift from group 2 to group 1, right? So for this 80% gap which is there in the market, which no one recognizes, ConvertIAS brings you Prelims Complete Programmation. This is a foolproof guidance. It's a strategy for clearing Prelims 2026, and this is a one-stop solution, and it says it goes without saying. Okay. So what is this Prelims Complete Programming? So whatever the voids which you had identified here are completely covered in the program. Let me tell you how. The components of the program will be as these. First thing you will be getting is your notes. Notes is a component of Prelims Complete, and this, the gap which was there here, is completed by our notes component. You don't have to rely on any reference book or any coaching material if you follow this particular notes. Okay, and the notes will be for static and for current affairs both, plus the application part which I had mentioned. It will have the PYQs as well for each chapter. All right. So these notes are primary component of your Prelims Complete. Second thing, you will be having lectures or sessions. Don't confuse this with a crash course. I'll come to this later. All right. Third, you will be having tests plus the discussions of these tests. And fourth, mentorship. Let me guide you through all these components in detail, because this is a big program. You are relying on us, and we are taking complete charge of your prelims preparation. So all the components has to be explained detailed. Prelims Complete, it's gonna be a thematic program. So what does this thematic program means? Every week you will be following a particular theme. Okay. So 1 week is equal to 1 theme. So you may ask, what are these themes? The entire syllabus for prelims we have divided into 36 themes, all subjects, polity, economy, environment, agriculture, everything. We have divided in total to 36 themes. We will be following each theme 1 week. Okay. So what will happen in this 1 week? First comes is your notes. These will be delivered as PDF on Mondays. Okay. So you start reading these notes. Second, you will have thematic lectures. These are thematic notes. So once you read those notes, there will be a particular set of concepts in that notes which has to be explained by words. So these will be dealt in your thematic lectures. All right. And also you will be having a rapid revision kind of thing of that particular theme on in these thematic lectures. Third, there will be thematic tests. And fourth, that is mentorship. So when I said it is going to be thematic, so we have scientifically divided the syllabus upon various suggestions from toppers who have cleared the exam multiple times, and we had divided into themes. This may not be clear, let me show you. You might access the schedule from there itself, alright. So every theme you may see in the schedule we have segregated it. So it's all the components, all the topics which has to be covered at once, we have put it in one theme, alright. So let me show you in this first theme itself. If you are reading polity, then the first thing you start doing is reading your Lakshmikant, and the first chapter is historical underpinnings. You start reading the book, the chapter, but what you are doing is just reading. You cannot learn from that chapter. I'll tell you how, why. Because if you are not knowing what was the historical scenario or what was the context in which the Charter Act came, when the Regulating Act came, when the Pitts Act came, you are not knowing the context because you haven't covered modern history yet, but still you are just reading it. So that's why we have eliminated that chapter and we have put it in modern history. This is just a small example how we are telling you, like we have systematically designed the schedule so that you read in an understandable manner and you learn things, okay. So this schedule runs until Feb. So Feb first week the program ends and you will be free to revise. We will cover that 80% below the water thing, and after that 3 months until your prelims you can do whatever you want for the 20% of the things that you tend to replicate, okay. So that is about the schedule. Coming to notes, the notes component which I said that the knowledge void should be covered from the notes. So this we ensure from this thematic notes which will be delivered on Monday, alright. And as I mentioned, these will be comprehensive and crisp. They are updated, you don't have to check anywhere if they are correct or wrong. They will be of easy language so that you don't have to hold a dictionary while reading these books, okay, these PDFs. So they are very in easy understandable manner, and we have left spaces in the notes as well so that you write whatever you see in the lectures, whatever you missed out in your test, etc., so that these notes become your ultimate solution for revision. We suggest you that you print these notes and keep them handy, okay. So these will be your primary source of revision, okay. Plus you will be getting monthly CA magazines as well. Second thing, the lectures, the thematic lectures which I mentioned. You may ask, sir, we are used to watching the lectures first, then we will read the notes, whatever it is. But I'll tell you, this is a very wrong way to see things. When you read your notes by yourself, you are making an efforts, and efforts last longer. Lectures are very easy way to, it's kind of a shortcut to learn concepts, and that's why many of them fail to gain concepts, okay. So let's say you read the notes and you acquire some knowledge, and when you see the lectures, you read something, you may understand that, okay, I had understood this topic something else, this was to be understood like this. So you are correcting your mistakes then and there, and when you correct your mistakes, that retention is very much more than watching the lectures at the first hand. That's why we have put the notes component first, so that you make your own efforts, then you watch the lectures and correct yourself whatever is necessary, alright. And these lectures will build your confidence level 1. So once you have corrected yourself, like what I had read in notes, I have corrected myself, that gives you confidence that, okay, I am ready for the next thing, that is thematic tests. So these tests will be conducted on Sundays. Sorry, I didn't mention here. So every Sunday you will have thematic tests. This is for the application part which I had mentioned before. So whatever you had read in notes, we had seen in lectures, you start to apply in these tests. And once you are able to apply these in your test, that builds your confidence level number 2, okay. And these tests, as these are not very common tests which are available in the market, which you download from Telegram, these tests are very researched, and that's why we have seen that exact word to word questions statements have replicated in UPSC Prelims 2025. Okay, and the patterns as well. We don't believe in giving very tough questions, telling that if you practice very tough questions, the UPSC Prelims will be very easier. Or we don't believe in giving very easy tests also, so that your confidence boosts your confidence is boosted. We follow what UPSC is following. Okay, the link to all the replications will be in the description. You can see them. Plus, these will be followed by discussions as well. These tests, whatever you had missed out in the notes, lectures which has come in the text test, so that we will be conducting discussions on the same day. Okay, and these discussions will hold all the PYQs which were covered for that theme. Okay, the particular theme which the notes you had got, so that will have the PYQs. These lectures or test discussions will have solutions for those PYQs as well. Okay. And the last component of prelims complete, and the most important of it, is mentorship. This is no common mentorship. You might have seen many results of ConvertIAS and many rankers. They are very appreciative of ConvertIAS mentorship. This is because our mentorship is very different. How it is different? We give you quantifiable targets. We are not interested in doing chit chatting with students in the name of mentorship. We mean it when we say the word mentorship. You will be getting two types of mentorship in prelims complete. First one is one-on-one mentorship. If you are facing any difficulty in applying these thematic tests and notes, etc., if you are having any difficulty in using them, so every month you are entitled for a mentorship call, in which your approaches, your schedule, etc., these are corrected by group 1 category students. Okay. The second thing will be group mentorship. There will be many problems which everyone faces in common. Maybe time management, how to solve mock tests, the last minute nervousness, everything. So these are the problems which everyone faces in common. So for that we will conduct group mentorship. Okay. So these are the two types of mentorship you will be getting in prelims complete program. Okay. So that's why we are calling this a foolproof mechanism. All you need is to follow this program religiously, and we will ensure that you are writing mains 2026. So the first batch for this starts from June 1. That is, you will be getting your first set of notes for first theme on June 1. Okay. So that's it. So let's see you on the other side of prelims complete.